and lo and behold, she's been raped by multiple guys at that party. And you know what? It's been recorded. And you know, and then they say, you know what? You're gonna do this again for me. And then she says, no, I'm not. And then they start threatening her. We're gonna put this on social media. Your family's gonna find out about this. You're gonna come to the next party and you're gonna do it again. And that's how they start getting the money.
And girls are traffickers too, you know, you need to keep that in mind. Like if you have a group of teenagers that at the mall, you know, and a girl that's a couple years older come over and befriends the one that seems to be kind of on her own. Girls traffic just as much as boys. And a lot of times, these teenage traffickers that we're seeing were victims of trafficking as well. And so their pimp is sending them out to traffic other kids. You would have raised your hand up, I'll come back to you.
So because it seems to be pretty common knowledge that the IAB truck stop is a fairly trafficked area, what's being done in places like that? Like, why is that known but it's still happening?
You know, it's hard to find these victims. You know, even if they post them on Facebook, you know, they just post a picture of their face. It doesn't say where they're at. You know, it just is a picture of their face and a number. So, you know, the traffickers are very good at hiding what they're doing. So they can see that picture and they know it's an underage girl, but they don't know where that girl is. She could be right now in Chicago, and if she gets a call, they'll ship her down. I-80, they had her hiding in the back of a semi. And until someone calls and reports it, they don't know that she's there because, you know, semis go in and out of that I-80 truck stop all the time. So the only way really to catch them would be for someone to see what's happening. You know, otherwise they'd have to stop every semi that came through. And one of the reasons why it's such a big deal here in the Quad Cities is because we have I-80 and 74, all these big interstates. So it's easy to get the kids out of the city and somewhere else.
I think it's great that you're here doing this presentation to make us more aware of this, but I mean, ultimately we want to get this information to the kids, right?
Yes.
So have you been invited to any West Liberty school to do this presentation?
You know, I don't know about West Liberty. I know that we are trying to get into every school that will let us. A lot of administrations don't want us to come in yet. You know, they're really pushing back on it. So you could certainly talk to your school administrators and say, I want my kids to know this stuff.
Our local youth group?
Yes, local youth group. Like I said, we will talk to anybody that will listen to us. You know, I talked to foster parents before. We'll talk to youth groups as long as they're in the age range. You know,
See me afterwards because we want to.
Yeah, totally. We will talk to anyone that will listen, and we are trying to get into all the schools because I think that this is important information for our kids to know. You know, 100 kids a year coming out of the Quad Cities is huge. It's just huge. And if you think, you know, for someone to get trafficked, you know, I'm a sexual abuse advocate and have been for a long time. And when someone gets raped, that's something that affects them for the rest of their life. It can change who they are, it changes their life, and sometimes it takes them years to get over it if they ever do. So think of these victims that are trafficked. You know, if they do get out of it with their lives, they're usually hooked on drugs and they've been raped, you know, who knows how many times, hundreds of times. So think of just, you know, it ruins their life. So 100 kids, their lives are ruined because they didn't know any better and they trusted that cute guy that came and invited them to the party. I mean, it's just as simple as that.
Well, I know that you're looking at 11 to 13-year-olds, but I know that I'm sure it's that way at Iowa State, but at the University of Iowa, they were targeting the freshmen. You know, the
Sure.
ones